All right, so I have seen the new movie from Angel Studios, Sound of Freedom. Now, this movie is a little tricky to talk about because watching it, you'll figure out that this movie is its goal is less entertainment and more trying to bring awareness to child sex trafficking. The movie is about a man who becomes a vigilante essentially from the U.S. government to help rescue this child from sex traffickers in Colombia. And it's not an action movie. It's not like a Denzel Washington or Liam Neeson action movie that might, cover this type of topic. This movie really takes a realistic approach to the horrors of sex trafficking and the realities of what these children go through and the lengths that people will go through to do these awful things to these kids and the lengths that this man had to go through to get them out. So because they take a realistic approach, they can't do fun action and fun espionage scenes or whatever because that would be a disservice to the reality of their subject matter. So they take it very serious. So this movie is a bit of a downer because you realize that everything you're seeing on the screen is real. Probably a lot worse than what you're seeing on the screen. So it is a very well made movie, but you kind of have to talk about it as a message more than entertainment. And so it conveys its message very well. Its message is basically to get the word out there that this awful thing, child sex trafficking, is very real. And it's a lot more prevalent in our society today than we would like to admit. Out of all the problems going on in the world, this is a huge one that we just don't talk about a lot. And the movie makes that point. So I looked up some stuff, not as much as I should have, but so I don't know about how accurate everything in this movie is, but I get the feeling it's pretty accurate to the real life situation that happened. But it is a very good awareness builder, and that's clearly their goal. They even have a message near the end of the movie to asking you to invite people to watch the movie. It also makes a lot of sense to me why they released this movie on July 4th, because it is Independence Day in America where we celebrate our freedom. And yet here we see children all around the world don't have freedom. They are slaves, essentially, and the movie makes that point as well. So releasing it on July 4th was, I think, very intentional on the part of the studio, the producers, the writers, directors, whoever. But yeah, so it's hard to recommend because it's not a fun watch. It is good to watch good triumph over evil. This movie doesn't have a sad ending. Um, it is a happy ending. Good does eventually triumph over evil, but there is that caveat that even though these children may be saved, there are millions of others who aren't saved in real life, and that is a bit of a downer. So if you want to see good triumph over evil within the context of being made more aware of the situation, and just the stuff that is happening in real life, then yeah, definitely go watch it. Just know that it's not a typical escapist, entertainment filled movie. It's heavy. There are movies that are heavier than this movie, sure, but this movie's goal is not to entertain, but to inform. So if you know that going in, and that's okay, then I definitely recommend go watch this. But if you're a little touchy on child abuse and you don't like seeing that in movies and you don't want to be reminded of this type of thing, then I would definitely say stay away from this movie. You probably already know the realities of this anyway, and so you don't need a movie to remind you of it. But if that is something that bothers you, then definitely don't watch it. But if that doesn't bother you and you want to see the story play out, then definitely watch it. It's a well-made movie. I enjoyed watching it. But yeah, so go watch it and see for yourself.